Hello and welcome to That Is Nice podcast. I'm here with Calvin. Calvin's the guy from the Space Force episode.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for coming back, Cal.
Yeah, happy to be here.
I want to ask you a question. What is your stance on AI? Is it good for humanity, bad for humanity?
I don't know, but I feel like it could be good or bad.
It's good to have opinions.
Yeah, it's true. Mine's just a baby.
Let's look at it like this. Okay, so let me explain this to you, and I just want to get your stance. A quick little synopsis. AI is something that can learn 20,000 years of human history, like, because we've been around really and like doing stuff for like 20,000 years. It can learn that in about a week.
Yeah, it's scary.
So it can surpass us. But here's the thing. It could look at, like, for discoveries in space, it could find things and ask different questions that we've never asked ourselves. It could help find food or discover a new way to do agriculture so everybody has food, right? So it can do those things. But it can also look at us like ants.
And murder us all and then overtake us.
It could look at us like... It could make... Okay, so right now, human intelligence is the top. Like, we are like the most intelligent thing on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
But we will not be the most intelligent thing on this planet so we don't have control over it.
Yeah, it's scary.
So would you say good or bad?
I think it's scary. I don't know. It could be bad because if it is more intelligent than us, then we're under control of it.
Right.
Basically, once it becomes that intelligent, then it'll have power over us.
How do you look at monkeys, or how do you look at tribes, uncontacted tribes?
Well, we're smarter than monkeys, but tribes are humans, so I guess we're just as smart as them.
Would you say I think we're smarter than them?
You think we're smarter than them?
Than tribes, uncontacted tribes?
I mean, we're all people, so we have the same basic ability to learn things, but I guess we have more knowledge at our fingertips.
Okay, so like there are some humans that are smart, like Einstein.
Right.
Is much smarter than you and I are ever going to be.
Yeah.
He's smarter than us. He's a human.
I guess so.
Like, we look like chimps next to Einstein.
True.
They look like chimps compared to us.
Right.
Like, they don't understand, like, fundamental, like, astronomy. They don't understand fundamental math. They don't understand how to build things, like, make it, like electricity, use electrons to make things like a computer.
True, but that's not like an Einstein difference between you and me. Einstein was just, like, born smarter than us, you know? But he had the same access to information as we did. Like, they don't have the same access to information as we do.
They don't, but why don't they?
Because that's the environment they were...
But if they had the same brain capacity as us, as you say, if they had the same exact brain capacity, why haven't they discovered any of this technology?
Well, it's just that, like, you know, their civilization isn't at that point, you know? Like ours is. We have, like... We were born into... This, you know, we're born and we're like, oh, here's an iPad. You know, and they're born in here, they're like, okay, here we're going to learn to harvest crops.
I got you.
Like that, you know?
But would you say that we are smarter than nomadic people? Like cavemen, our ancestors. I would like to think that we are smarter. Because we're kind of cyborgs.
I mean, because of the knowledge, because of the access to information.
Access to information. And education. Even if there was no access, even if there was no, like, bandwidth, we couldn't hook up to this.
So you think if you got a caveman and grew him up, like raised him as your child in this environment, that he still wouldn't be as smart as one of us?
Yes. How quickly could they solve a puzzle?
I don't know. It depends if they're like...
How quickly could they identify a pattern?
I don't know how evolved cavemen were. You know? I don't know.
I mean, not as evolved as us, because...
Maybe.
Like, look at... Like, we have drones.
True.
Like, we have drones. They're unmanned airplanes.
Right, but, like, people...
They had spears.
Like, uncontacted tribes, like, are equally evolved as us. If you were to take their baby and raise them in their environment, they'd just be just as smart as any of us, because they're human.
When you don't know... Okay, but when you don't know a thing... I understand that, like, okay, if it's just, like, left at the fundamental level, like, based on the knowledge we have, if we had no technology...
Right.
And we are up against an uncontacted tribe member, and just, like, we got to ask the question. Who's going to know that question first? Us.
It depends what question.
if it's not about starting a fire,
like,
or things like nature, things like that.
Planets furthest from the sun, we know that.
Yeah, we would know that.
We have that access to information when we were growing up.
And that quick recall of like crystalline memory, that's intelligence.
I mean, I feel like intelligence is, I don't know.
What's intelligence to you?
I don't know. What is intelligence?
I think intelligence is your ability to identify patterns, your ability to the question, not asking questions, but what questions you ask.
True. I feel like it's the ability to use the information you're given and be able to produce the most out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah. So like, the things you learn that are unrelated, how well you can apply those unrelated things, to something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You think they could do that well?
Yeah.
Better than us?
Probably the same.
I don't think it's the same.
Maybe. What about artificial intelligence?
This is my point, though. Like, I'm trying to say, like, that's how we'll see that. It's like nomadic people. We kind of look at them, let's be honest. We kind of see nomadics as like a second-class citizen. They don't vote. We don't give them any say in anything. We don't even contact them. We don't expose them to new technology because we're afraid that it will like blow their minds too much.
What indigenous people? Just like
in Indonesia, off an island in Indonesia and India, there's a bunch of uncontacted tribes. And even in Brazil, there are ones that like governments have just said, let's just leave these people alone.
I think they leave them alone because they're like content as they are.
No, we leave them alone because it's too much of a gap from where they are to where society is today.
True.
And it would just be too overwhelming.
They're
too far behind.
Overwhelming.
That's like if a kindergartner, we're like, oh, you know what? Okay, so you just learned how to count. All right, we're going to throw you into calculus.
Yeah, I don't think that makes them dumb, though. I don't think that means they're not intelligent.
Well, then what is intelligence?
I feel like intelligence is just like like I said, your ability to use information you're given and do something with it. You know what I mean? I feel like...
Well, they apparently haven't done that well because they're still living as we did 10,000 years ago.
Well, it doesn't make them dumb. That's just a different way of living.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't make them dumb, not in an insulting way, but it doesn't make them as intelligent.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't make them as...
Their Einstein compared to our Einstein, who do you think's going to do better in anything?
Well, yeah, because our Einstein was like exposed to know how to do math problems and stuff like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like he was given information to be able to do stuff with it.
But even though he was exposed in, like, you have to be exposed to information to be intelligent.
Yeah.
Right? So they were, like, our Einstein is more intelligent.
I guess that level of intelligence, like, yeah.
It's not about who was exposed to what. It's about are you or are you not.
Well, in that case, it could be anybody. But as far as who's exposed to what, then, like, they're just as smart. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I'm just, like, they have the same capacity.
Yeah.
But I don't agree. Yeah,
they have the same capacity, but they wouldn't be able to say, okay, solve this imaginary number in a trigonometry equation. They wouldn't be able to because they didn't have that information.
They didn't learn trigonometry.
Yeah, they didn't learn trigonometry.
Right. But the thing is, we work, like, the same way with AI. Like your Google search, when you type something, when you want to learn how to bake a cake, and you type how to bake and then you see those below, there's like a bunch of lines.
Right.
It'll be like how to bake a potato, how to bake a cake, how to bake a egg, all these things. And yes, if you look at your search history.
Mine.
So, but like that AI can predict, it'll give you like 5 things, and usually it will be able to predict what you're going to type.
Right. I believe that computers are, they're smarter than us.
They're smarter than us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But it's able to predict. So it's smarter than us in that sense. Yeah. But it's smarter than us because it's been exposed to information of billions of Google searches.
And it can retain it all, and we can't.
Right, I know, but you say that a computer is smarter than us because it has predictive search, but it's been exposed to billions of searches, and it can learn and put it into something called like a neural network.
Right.
And that's the difference between us and nomadic tribes, is we've been exposed to a bunch of things, so we're smarter. Just like a computer can predict our searches better than you could predict what I'm going to search.
If that's what you call smarter, yeah.
Well, that would be intelligence. They can recognize a pattern. If someone's going to type in how to bake that's a pattern.
Right,
how to
because
bake.
we've seen more of at least industrialized things. Yeah.
Yeah.
They would know more about our world in a sense, but we know more about a lot of things.
Would they know more about our world? Because I don't think they do. They don't know what's in the ocean as well as we do.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't know what's...
I guess not our world as a whole. I guess more like localized environments. They know more.
But do they? Because we know it on like a molecular level.
Oh, I mean, if you get into that.
I mean, we know our world pretty well compared to them. Like, they know how to, like what methods to sharpen a spear and everything, like, work better. Like, this isn't anything harsh, but there are people you can search that online and know how to do it just as well as they can.
They know how to live off the land better. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, you're right. We know more about molecules and the universe, how it was formed, and all those crazy things that, like, they wouldn't know.
Yes. So even if it's in their own environment. So your stance on AI, I just want to be sure. Your stance on AI is what?
I don't know, man. It's kind of scary, isn't it?
Scary? It's my biggest fear.
If it develops too much and then all of a sudden the robots are taking us over, it's kind of scary.
It's my biggest fear. Do you know any of the statistics on AI?
No.
So do you know when it's supposed... Okay, so the thing about AI, like there's government, like the department... There's an agency for the Congress called the, like... What is it called? Like the frickin'... I have to look at the article, but I can send it to you later. It's called the something, like the Committee of Congressional Research. So they do all the research and give it to all the Congress people for them to get like an informed opinion on. And they were researching things about AI because it's like one of the things they're very concerned about. And they're saying the problem with AI, some of the main problems, one of them is AI can expand and grow faster than our economy could be able to hold. It's faster than the capabilities of our economy.
Interesting.
Right? So that alone just shows you the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's scary. They can overtake us, but it can also like help solve like crazy things that, you know, like problems related to starvation and hunger and, you know, these algorithms that can help, you know.
Exactly, that's the thing, because it can ask questions that we wouldn't even think to ask.
Yeah.
Like there was an AI by a company called DeepMind, which was bought by Google. So now it's Google DeepMind, but it started in the UK, or it started in Europe. And they played a game called AlphaGo, and AlphaGo it's a game that's like famous in China. It's an ancient game, and has more possible outcomes than the game of chess, because chess is very logical. Mm-hmm. This game is intuitive. And the thing about computers are logical. Humans are intuitive, so only humans could be really good at the game of Go. Okay. Because there's an infinite amount of moves, like literally an infinite amount of moves that you could play that change moves in the game that happen like hours after. And this AlphaGo did a move called Move 37, and it was like everybody looked at the move and they scoffed, like, that was weird, because it was playing like the world's best mind at AlphaGo, and it went, Why would it do that move? This is a stupid move. Like, nobody would do that move.
The computer did that?
The computer did that. And the computer learned how to play AlphaGo by playing itself, like by thousands and thousands of games, just playing itself. Right. And this move actually, it won the game, because everybody who laughed at this move, they found out that many turns after, I went, oh, that's why I did this move. Yeah. Even the best mind at the game Go could not figure out why I did this move. Damn. Because it was able to look at this and ask different questions and predict things like Google search would predict your search better than a human ever could, which means a computer can have intuition.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's the only thing people usually can have.
Yeah, they're going to be smarter than us 50 years from now. They're going to like...
It's not 50, it's like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're saying 20, about 30 to 40% of the jobs are going to be autonomous.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Look, what can we do? We can make food. That's going to be a job forever.
Well, there's a company called OpenAI.
Oh, no.
And they're trying to make AI and humans have some sort of like a symbiosis.
Like an avatar.
No, even beyond that, because so what they want to do is they want to install something called a neural lace, which connects like it's like a think of a mesh thing.
Yeah.
And it goes and attaches to your brain, because there's really two parts of your brain: your limbic system and your cortex. And your limbic system, or your cortex, is just trying to please your limbic system. And this neural lace would connect to your brain, because your brain runs off of electricity, and a computer runs off of electricity. Mm-hmm. And it expands the bandwidth. Because the thing about like us is we are cyborgs. Because as much as you want to believe it or not, like your phone makes you significantly smarter, because you can search things when you don't know it, instead of like running, going to a library and like researching, finding the right book, reading a bunch of pages, and then like, that's the answer. Mm-hmm. We have this device in our pockets at all time that can give us any information we need, solve any problem we have. And the neural lace solves like the bandwidth problem, because the thing about it is the only way that we can like search things are with our thumbs,
right? And
the thumbs are slow. That's slow input. But with the neural lace, you think it, and it can connect you to the internet, and you know it instantly.
Right.
Instead of taking all the time to type it out.
It's instant. Kind of creepy, though. I wouldn't want a little chip in my brain.
Yeah, but that's the only way you compete with AI. And you're already a cyborg. I mean, you already have a cell phone.
True.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want a chip in
like
my brain.
You want the strange thing about people is we want.
I feel like a chip in the brain is the step where AI can take us over, though. That's where
absolutely.
That's the step where they like outsmart us and they learn to control us. And then, you know.
But the problem with that is that's already happening with like social media and your phones already.
On a
advertisers.
Scale.
Not even on a smaller scale. I mean, look at what they say like what Russians did to sway the election.
Yeah.
Look at what they did just with social media and comments. Look at what they've done. Now imagine.
Right, but I mean like losing cognitive function to AI, like taking us over.
We lose cognitive function.
Well,
on social media, your brain, it's mind numbing.
Right, but like you can throw your phone away and you're not exposed to it anymore. But if you have a chip in your brain, like you can imagine just like it just takes you over or something because it learns how to do that. That's scary.
But the thing is, you have to understand how like manipulated we already are by the information we get. Like look at people in North Korea.
Yeah.
Or China.
Yeah.
Like they can't go on certain websites or watch certain videos or anything because their government blocks it. Right?
Yes.
And that's not a chip in their brain. And I can brainwash them just like that.
No, but like the chip in their brain is just that extra step further.
It's an extra further. But it's gonna happen.
I hope not.
No, it's going to, because we want technology inside of us.
I don't.
You don't? Why do you have a cell phone?
It's not inside of me.
Okay. So why don't you use a payphone? Why don't you go to a town and find a payphone or anything like that, or just use so look at the progression of phones.
Right, it's more convenient, but I mean that
it's more convenient.
Chip in your brain, like it's just like
it's more convenient.
It's just by like a little too creepy much.
No, you know but so is a cell phone.
It's kind of
you grew up with that. You're used to it, but you know what you also grew up with was a house phone.
Yep.
That was convenient. You know what was convenient before a house phone? Having a phone in your town.
Yeah, but then it's inside you. That's such a different thing, though, to have it inside.
Where's your phone right now?
It's in my pocket. It's not inside of my face.
No, it's not inside of your face, but you literally have it right on you.
Yeah.
At all times. You have that phone right there.
Yeah.
Look at the progression of phones. All right, so it went...
But it's not controlling my brain. That's creepy.
Look at the progression of phones, and you'll understand.
No,
this.
I can see like where you're saying like it can progress to that.
Let me say it.
I'm just saying I wouldn't want it in my head. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't, right? But you know what? I bet you 30 years ago you wouldn't have wanted it next to your head when you sleep either. Maybe. A house phone. You wouldn't have wanted it, or your computer. You had a room for a computer. You had your phone was in the kitchen. Before that, your phone was in town.
It's a different thing though. Inside of you, it's
not a different thing.
It is.
It's
not
so
a creepy.
Different. You think it's a different
so
thing?
You would want it inside your head.
No, I wouldn't. But I'm telling you, I wouldn't. But you know what? If it becomes like everybody has that, and it gives them if it becomes everybody has that, and it gives them that much of an advantage, just like a phone, having your phone on you gives you an advantage because you can respond to people quicker than it would be if you had to go back all the way into town and call them on a payphone. It gives you an advantage.
I'm close enough to throwing this in a river as it is. As much as having a chip in my brain, I wouldn't do it.
But let me explain this progression. All right. So first it went. You would write a letter.
Yeah.
And you'd send it in the mail, and someone would get it in like a month.
Yep.
And then it went, there's a phone in your town. And you would be able to call them, and they would have to be at the same phone in their town. And yeah, it might take like a couple hours to coordinate it, but it would happen. And then it went, there was a phone in your house.
Yep.
Right? Notice how it keeps getting closer to you, to your body. So there was a phone in your house. And then, you know, you just call someone and then it rings in their house. I don't got to go to town anymore. I don't got to coordinate nothing. You hear it ring. And then after that, there's a phone in your pocket. So now you don't even have to get up. You can be laying on the couch and ask, hey, what's up? You don't have to walk to the kitchen.
Right.
What's the next step? What's the next step after that? Because it's not like it's going to stop here.
Those seem okay, though. Those are like, oh,
and
phone in my pocket, okay. Like, I feel like somebody 200 years from now, if they're like, phone in your pocket, be like, oh, sweet. If you said 200 years.
You think it's going to stop right here? You think it's going to stop with phone in your pocket in 200 years?
If you talk to somebody.
They're going to be like, oh, this is perfect. This is just the right amount of technology.
If you talk
that
to somebody
has not
born
ever happened.
in 1850 or 1900 or something, and said, you got a phone in your pocket, you answer it, they'd be like, oh, that's sick. And if you said it, I feel like they would.
I don't think they would.
I feel like they would. They'd be like, oh.
No, I don't think they would.
They'd be like, that's instant right there. That's cool. Okay. You can just be like, oh, answer. Okay, great.
You think if you showed somebody
talk.
a cell phone in your pocket
in
1890, they would be okay with that?
They'd be like, wow, that's
How come
amazing.
grandparents have such a hard time with their phone? They're like, that fucking thing keeps ringing. It's so annoying. It keeps ringing. Like, why would you want that on you all the time? It keeps ringing. It's noisy. Why would you want people to be able to contact you all the
grandparents
time?
Are talking about, my grandparents are cool.
Right, but you're
my
talking about people.
Loves it.
You're talking about people. But okay, let's look at the majority here. You're talking about people from the 1800s. You think they're used to life without being disturbed? You think they would want people to contact them that much all the time? I don't think so. But I really don't. But now we do.
But the chip in your brain is just too far.
It's gonna happen.
You gotta draw the line at some point.
We have Apple Watches.
I'm saying the Apple
like that's about as
it's on your. You can take it off.
It's on your wrist. You know where that used to be? You can like text and call.
But there's a point where
you know where it used to be. You know where it used to be? You would write a letter and send it in the mail. Now it's on your wrist.
You have to admit that there's a point you gotta draw the line. You have to.
There is no line.
You have to admit that there's a point where you gotta say enough. Like chip in the brain, nothing. Like,
okay.
There's gotta be a point where.
Tell me why. Tell me why the line
because
is chip in your brain.
Because it's inside of you. That's what the difference is. Inside of you.
Yeah,
versus
but
on your exterior.
right. But they were probably saying
that makes it a part
before
of you. It's like too much.
What do you think people did? But people were very accepting of it being inside of their house.
Yeah.
Versus being in a town.
Because it's so convenient and easy. I feel like people are excited about that.
Convenient and easy.
Not inside your head. That's creepy.
No, it's not. Because you can Google search things without anybody. You don't worry about search history and someone seeing your search history.
Think about like the AI takeover, like you were saying. You know, AI takeover.
It's convenient, Calvin. Your bandwidth expands.
How's that going to happen? The AI takeover with a phone in your pocket.
Why is it Why is it more convenient for it to be in your pocket than to be in your kitchen?
You can just grab it right here. Call. Oh, hello. I'm in a different room. I'm outside. There it is.
Okay.
But different room outside still applies if it's in your head. That like that little step of extra convenience is too much. Like people already have their cell phone on them all the time. Why would they need?
You got to remember, people went from this to go and answer their phone. They went from, okay, I'll be back. I'm gonna go ride my horse.
Yep.
And then they went from, okay, I'm gonna go answer the phone. It's in the kitchen. And then they went from, okay, I'm gonna, hang on 1 second. What's next?
Yeah.
What's next? Because the motion keeps getting smaller.
But why? But at a certain point, you're going to reach the optimum.
You think so? You think that there's a peak where people are going to stop?
I mean, as far as
tell me where in technology that's ever happened.
Going into your head. I mean, it's.
Tell me where in technology it's ever stopped advancing. Because Moore's law states technology gets twice as good.
Yeah.
At an exponential rate.
Okay, airplanes.
Right.
Your jet plane.
Yeah. Airplanes.
It's never gonna get better than what's
never.
Like we got the jet plane, and like
it's never gonna be better than a jet plane.
1950.
You know we had before that
or
propellers.
Yeah, no, 2050 to 2019.
Yeah.
You could fly, and you could fly a spot to a spot. It took 3 hours, and now it tells.
What could you do before that?
No.
What could you do before that? You could take a boat and get to Europe in 3, 4, 5 months.
Your question was, when does it stop progressing? And I just answered that.
But no, it doesn't answer that because
1950, we haven't progressed. We're still taking the airplanes.
Right, but that's a technology that takes a while to progress. Because the thing about that is, okay, so it started. If you wanted to go from Europe to the Americas, you would get on a boat for a couple of months.
Yep.
Now, if you want to go from Europe to the Americas, you hop on a plane. You can buy the plane ticket the same day.
Yep.
Hop right on.
But like it hasn't progressed past that.
Yeah, but you want to know
what?
What
Are we gonna do telepath? It's at its peak.
Nope, they're already actually working. They're actually. What do you think Blue Origin is? You ever hear Jeff Bezos' company Blue Origin?
No.
Or SpaceX?
No.
Okay, they're working. You know intercontinental ballistic missiles?
Yeah.
Okay, you know how they shoot into space? They're like little rockets, and then they come back down and land on your country. Same thing, because it's really fast. They can get from us to China in 30 minutes. SpaceX and Blue Origin is also working on an intercontinental ballistic missile type airplane where it shoots into space so it doesn't have to worry about all the aerodynamics in space. And it gets you from here to China or here to Australia instead of 24 hours. It gets you there in about 30, 40 minutes. That's the next progression. And they're already working on that. And they're actually, you'd like to see it, but I bet you the guy on the boat who came from Europe to America said the same thing about flying. So Amelia Earhart. Like, yeah, that can't happen. You can't fly across the ocean.
Okay, then what's after that? What's after the ballistic missile thing? How
Mars?
Are you going to get faster than that? No, how are you going to get faster from going from here to Europe? From here to Europe, besides ballistic
That's where AI comes in, because it asks questions when it seems like we've reached a peak. Okay. It asks the questions that we couldn't really think to ask.
Yeah, fine.
But they're also working on a totally electric airplane. I hope you know that.
You're asking me, like, what's the peak? What's, like, the absolute, like, when's it going to stop?
It's not going to stop.
There's going to be there's certain.
There's no plateau for technology. It keeps going.
I think that eventually it'll develop.
Why would there be a plateau? I just don't see why there's a plateau.
Because like when you reach its best and it's already most proficient, then like you can't go past that.
When does it become the most proficient? Because one of the things about technology is making things the most efficient. That's why your phone can last so long and do so much. And the battery keeps getting bigger. It keeps having more like milliamp hours. Keeps being able to do more and more. The camera keeps getting better and better.
Don't you think that it's just gonna like keep going and then like
and stop?
You just you reach a breaking point.
Nope, because they're working on quantum computers already.
Like kind of come back down.
Yeah, you're right. All right, so here's the thing.
And then we'll realize there's too much, and then like find the middle ground that works best, and that's the ideal utopia.
Never gonna happen.
You know?
Nope, because there's a sick, weird drive inside of people where technology and things and having like objects makes us depressed, and we found that out because there's like a depression epidemic in America,
right?
Like being on social media.
So there's a reason for it to like stop and like come back down.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Too much.
In theory, yeah, there's a reason. Yeah. You're right. But the thing is, we keep going. People keep working longer hours. Keep trying to get more things. Keep like the phone you have right now. People are already like, oh, when's the next one coming out? I want a better camera. And it's like, what's wrong with the one you have right now? The one you have right now is perfect. The Nokia was perfect.
My camera sucks dick.
Okay, but here's the thing. For the thing you want, and you just go like this and answer, what was wrong with the Nokia in the 90s? What was wrong with it? It worked, did exactly what you wanted it to do. But now it's like, oh, we got to have a camera. Oh, we got to have a fingerprint scanner. Oh, we got to be able to search the web. Oh, the internet's only 4G. Right. We want 5G. We want it to be like 500 megabits.
But we want to be as happy as we can be, right? Don't you think all the social media crap, people realize it's making them happy, it's eventually going to come to a breaking point?
Nope.
You don't think so? We'll just keep getting unhappier and unhappier, and then like, oh.
Nope. And that's why I told you.
Become robots eventually.
What's the next stage of evolution?
No, dude, I think.
What's the next stage of evolution?
The next stage of evolution?
Yeah, because that's why when I said to you earlier, humans are the sex organs of machines, because machines can't reproduce, but we can reproduce, and we keep reproducing, and we keep building more machines. And we keep building better machines. We keep building more efficient machines.
But you really don't think
smarter
it's
machines.
A breaking point ever?
No, never.
We're just going to go into infinity, use all of our resources.
Yep, because technology improves at an exponential rate, and that's been proven time and time and time again.
It doesn't improve at an exponential rate like that.
So when's it going?
It might. There's
no way.
It just becomes your opinion versus mine. I feel like it'll eventually reach a breaking point, and we'll like kind of find that we're reach what we can reach, and then things will kind of start to die down. The curve will go back to.
Do you know in the 1800s they were going to close the patent office of government? They were going to close it.
Yeah.
Do you know that in the 1800s they were going to close the office for where you go and submit a patent, because they thought, oh, we've already invented everything that could be invented, and then electricity came around.
Right.
And the patent office is still here.
No, I mean,
they already thought this would happen. It doesn't. Because you want to know what the next thing that's going to continue to innovate and improve are things like AI. Are things like quantum computing.
Yeah, but what about when you get those quantum computers that have thought of every possible thing that could be thought of, and those AI
same thing that happened with electricity. Yeah, right. You reach that point. You go, oh, we might as well close the patent office. No more things are gonna be invented.
Yeah, but
same thing that happened in the 1800s. And you're like, oh, this big crazy, like the same thing with software and the internet.
But you're gonna reach a point where it's not sustainable for our world to like cater to that. Don't you think so?
No.
It's just gonna keep.
Well, there's not enough energy, or I don't understand why I wouldn't be able to cater.
We use so much of our resources anyways.
It's more about discoveries and finding ways to solving problems and making them work. I don't think it'll ever reach that point. Because like look at us. Like in 2024, NASA's talking about going to Mars. So we're talking about colonizing Mars.
Yeah.
Like it was amazing that we went to the moon in the 60s. We're now talking about colonizing Mars and setting up a base on the moon.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, one day, the universe is going to stop expanding and come back in itself, and we're all going to die.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah,
win.
That'll be the plateau.
Yeah,
that'll be the plateau. But I'm gonna say, if that never happened, we can keep going because we have this sick drive.
Well,
we have this sick drive to continue to produce something newer, something better, and something more efficient.
Well, I guess in the end, we will see in the future.
I promise you, Calvin, this is gonna happen. I promise you, technology is not gonna. It's not gonna be. Right now, nobody's ever.
Thousands of years from now, Jake. It might be
thousands of years is not gonna stop.
It might be thousands of years, and they'll look back on this age and they'll say, "Oh, that industrial age of humanity. We went through all these crazy."
Do you think they said that in Egypt?
No. Before.
Do you think they said that? We got pyramids. We've reached the pinnacle.
No,
there is no pinnacle.
I'm saying humanity has never reached that point yet.
I'm
saying humanity never has reached that point, but eventually. The idea is in this utopia, they're gonna.
There's not going to be a utopia.
Advance to the point that it's just they've figured it out and they don't need to advance anymore because we're perfectly content. And as long as we're perfectly content, let's need to advance anymore.
Yeah, but you're using a hypothetical. You're saying if there's a utopia.
I'm saying it could.
You're saying it'll stop when there's a utopia. There's not going to be a utopia. Mm-hmm. Why would there be?
Because society has figured it out at that point. All the calculations of our AI has figured out that this is the utopia, this is how we can find the utopia, this is where we're going to be the utopia.
No, okay, so you think AI is going to bring us to a utopia?
Could.
Or do you think AI is going to be the next stage
of evolution? Why wouldn't humans want to
What do we do to monkeys? What do we do to monkeys? What do we do to their natural habitat? We keep cutting rainforest.
Sure.
We keep doing things. Yeah, we keep reducing where they live, and we keep putting animals into extinction. We keep overfishing. There's less fish.
Okay. So we're going to use all your resources, and then it's all going to be futile anyways. What's your point?
No, my point is we are building the next stage of human evolution. My point is...
Don't you think humans would want to,
No.
Don't you think humans would want to find a utopia where we're perfectly content with anything?
No,
so AI to find that utopia for us. I think they want to. Find that utopia, then, there's no need to advance past that.
I think they want to, yeah. But the problem with that is there's two parts of our brain, really, that matter. And it's the limbic system and the cortex. And the limbic system constantly tries to please the cortex.
Sure.
And the limbic system is fear, is anger, is love, is hate... is all those primitive drives, right?
Sure.
Where are all those primitive drives found? The internet. The internet is all of those things.
Okay.
So we're all nodes hooked up to this network, to this cybernetic network, right?
Sure.
So why hasn't that stopped? Why can't we just be nice on the internet? If we can't even be nice on the internet, why are we going to have a utopia?
So why can't we program AI, which you're saying can look into all these questions that we can't even ask?
The thing is,
all of these explanations to find the utopia for us.
You're right. But here's the thing about AI, Kelvin. Here's the thing about AI. Just like it found what I was telling you, Move 37.
Yeah.
Nobody programmed it to find Move 37. It found it itself.
Maybe it'll find utopia.
And the thing about AI is we don't have control over what it does. We don't have control over the decisions it makes because it learns on its own. It's its own individual being. It's like a sentient being. It thinks for itself. It does what it pleases. We don't have control over what that does.
You don't think humans, because you say technology constantly expands and the better and whatever, we can't program a certain computer or intelligence to find that utopia for us?
No. How could you?
Because you said it's...
How could you program... How could I program you to find a utopia for me?
Well, maybe it'll find it on its own and it'll show that to us. Why wouldn't it show it to us?
Because AI does. Because how does a computer think?
It showed that like move that nobody would ever think of in the chess game. Why wouldn't it show this goal that we're trying to reach?
Because how does a computer think? How do we look at ants when we're trying to pave a new road? Do we look at ants when we're paving a new road like, oh, let's just give them the best life we possibly could? Or do we look at them like, we don't want to kill the ants, we don't want to hurt the ants, but they're in the way of this project we want to build. We don't really think about them. We pave over their homes. We pave over the anthills.
So you think AI is going to pave over us?
Well, we are a higher intelligence than ants, aren't we?
Yeah. So you think,
and AI is a higher intelligence than us.
But it doesn't have arms and legs, but it might at some point.
Well, no,
right?
it's not that it might. Boston Dynamics has AI that has arms and legs.
So you
it
think
learns
eventually
enough.
It'll overprogram us?
It won't overprogram us, but it'll look at us like a house cat. It'll look at us like ants when we're paving a road. It won't want to hurt us and destroy us.
So what do you think?
But in the process of its end game, if its end goal, it will. Because it's going to look at these people. They're going to look at, oh, these fucking people, they keep like polluting their environment.
Right.
They keep like killing each other and going to war trying to get more land.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah. Why do we keep that? Why would we keep them around?
Right. So changing subjects then, you think AI is going to like... It's going to outpower us, outmuscle us, and it'll become the dominant force in the universe.
It's not that it's going to outpower us. It's that it's going to want to go. It's going to have a goal, just like we do. When we want to go and build, like, who was it? Was it Eisenhower or was it Truman who built all of the interstates? Eisenhower. So it was Eisenhower who built all the interstates. Do you think it once in any of those congressional meetings when they're debating if we're going to build these or not, they were considered about the ants? They were talking about, oh, what about all the ants we're going to kill?
Right, so you think it's going to just...
It'll be just like that. It'll be just like that.
Well, Jake, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
It's going to happen.
Okay.
I promise.
All right.
I promise. But that was good.
50 years from now.
Well, thank you for tuning into That Is Nice. That was one of the best podcasts.
That is nice.
Kelvin, was it nice?
It was nice.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night.
Have a nice night.
That was a good one.
I said that before.